It's Sonnet 545 back on your screen. What else did you expect? Are you tired of farming flowers in the endless worlds of Minecraft? Well, search no more, I have the machine for you, which produces a lot of flowers to color all of your concrete builds. Now, this is actually a very basic, very simple machine that requires a lot of bone meal. But in return, you can, of course, compost all of the seeds back into bone meal, so you get a little bit of return, and you get all of these flowers. Look at how many flowers these are for just a few seconds, basically. Now, you can see these are only a combination of red and yellow flowers, but if you go into different biomes, you can get different colors. For example, I know for a fact a swamp only produces blue flowers. So if you want blue, you're going to have to go to a swamp. Now, how does this machine work? You might ask. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to go look underneath. So first of all, we have the main kill switch here. If you don't have this, it's just going to run like this all day long until it is out of bone meal. Now, that is not what we want, so I put the kill switch in place. When we put this observer above this piece of dirt, it detects an update because the observer has been moved. That update translates into a redstone signal on the bottom here, and that signal goes into a second observer. This observer detects the change in the redstone line and pushes a signal change into this redstone line. Now, what does that? That extends these pistons going all the way to the other side. Now, on this side, exact same as that one, the observer detects the shift of dirt above him, goes into this redstone line. This observer detects the change of this redstone line and pushes these pistons along with the dirt back to the other side. Rinse and repeat. This is also a machine which has an auto bone meal dispenser, so you don't have to stand there bone milling the grass yourself. We can do it all automatically. From either side, it doesn't really matter which side you take it from, but you extend the redstone line all the way onto a observer because we want it to be pulsed. That change triggers the dispenser into dispensing bone meal and putting the grass and the flowers on top of this grass patch. So each time the dirt gets moved, it dispenses a bone meal. Now you have to stand with this design. I call it the poor man's design because it's just a bunch of pistons. What is it? 4, 5 observers, and that's about it. A few pieces of redstone dust, and you are actually good to go. And you can keep picking up whilst the machine is doing its thing. Neat. But if you are like me, you're a bit lazy, you're gonna want to automate picking all of the flowers up. That is why I've made this. This is actually a design inspired by ilmango's build that I've seen a while back, but it's made a bit simpler, you know. He's got a lot of redstone smartness in his brain. I don't, so I just make simple things. This lever, again, that's the main kill switch, which I've just moved on top of the piston. Doesn't really matter where it is. So you can see it just works completely the same. Small note, you don't see any grass or any flowers appearing because that's probably because I've got this all the way filled up with glass, so we've got enough stuff. Now, how to pick it up, you might ask? Well, that is where this second lever comes in handy. You flick it downwards. These pistons push down glass blocks, and that is where we get the effect of an item elevator. When you do that again, So I just gave the pistons one tick pulse so they spit out their blocks. When we do it again, it will pick the glass back up and pull the items up again through the pistons. Now, when we do that in a second, you can see here on top of the pistons there is a water stream. So when the flowers get pulled through the pistons, they go into this water stream and into the hopper line, which you can then attach to a chest or sorting system, which I have also a tutorial on, link in the top right corner. So I'm going to flick this switch again, and you can see no flowers, absolutely none, get left behind. And you can see him doing weird glitch things up here, but no problem. As soon as they raise enough in the water, they just going to flow right to the hoppers, as you can see. Now, this design looks a lot more complicated than the poor man's design. Well, it isn't. It actually isn't at all. So what have we added? Of course, this whole top part. And why this is the rich man's design is it uses a, well, that's a 7 by 7 area filled with sticky pistons and filled with observers. Also, we have a observer line detecting this redstone dust change, which we can trigger with the lever, just like that. Flick down to put the glass down, flick up to put the glass back up. Now that redstone signal travels right through here, all the way on top, just redstone dust on every observer. And then a very nice mechanic, we can actually put redstone through one block of air all the way to the pistons. I am going to demonstrate you. Okay, so I have a very basic version of that right here. So this is basically how it looks. It's a piston, air block, observer facing down, and we then have redstone lines usually on top. I just happen to have a block here. And as you can see, as we update the observer, you can see this piston pulling the sandstone out of the ground. Just like that. We put the block back, the sandstone will go back in the ground. Very strange mechanic, but I like it. So I'm going to show you that one more time. We create all of the flowers. Again, different biomes, different colors of flowers. You've got enough of those. Flick the lever down to put the glass down. The flowers are going to get on top. Flick the lever again. And they get pulled through the pistons into the water streams. And the hoppers are just filled up. So that's why we need a PV storage system. If you want a full tutorial on this machine, I can give it to you. Just put it down in the comments, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.